guys, I'm Subtuck, and welcome to my Holy Paladin PvP guide for 5.3. I haven't made this Paladin guide before, just a Chockadin guide back in the days, and that's really outdated, and I made an enhancement guide, just a one take, so it's not that good either. But I thought I could give you this one for Holy PvP, just the basics, so you know what spells you should use, and the basics, you know. So I'm gonna go through like spells, key bindings, macros, talents and glyphs, gemming and enchanting, and sort of not tos and what tos. And I'm gonna split it in like two parts as well, because it's gonna be maybe too long if I'm gonna run it the whole content in one video. So let's start with the spells, shall we? So first up is Holy Shock, which is our main spell, one of our main spells. It's an instant cast, so it means it doesn't have any channeling time or whatever cast time. And it doesn't cost a lot of mana at all, only like 10k, 9.6 to be more specific. When it crits, it gives you a buff, which is called Infusion of Light. And what that does is giving you, let's see if I can find it in the spellbook. Infusion of Light. Yeah, there we go. It gives you a reduced cast time of Divine Light, Holy Radiance, and Holy Light. Yeah, that's right. So, and that buff is really needed because you can put up some massive heals during high damage or something in arenas, and the problem is people don't use it on every cooldown. Every 6 seconds, just use Holy Shock. Just do it. Whatever you do, just use it, because you're putting out holy power, you're doing massive heals, and it doesn't cost a lot of mana. So I recommend you to, like, if you're standing just still, just go for it. Use it like that. It's really necessary. No, but just put it in mind. Next up is Flash of Light, which is an really mana efficient spell. I promise you, if you spam it, you're gonna go out of mana in no time. I promise you. If you look at my mana right now, I'm gonna spam it, and you see the mana is just dropping real low. So I recommend you not to spam it. Don't do it. Use it for emergencies when someone needs heal ASAP. The thing it does with the Forced bonus, it gives you 1 holy power for each cast. That's pretty good. You can use it to fake cast as well, because of the fast casting time. Just use it like you're gonna fake like doing that, and just cancel it and cast cancel to put out the locks, the spell locks, like from rogues and warriors and stuff. It's really good actually. It takes some time to learn how to fake cast as well. It's pretty hard. I had some hard time learning it myself. So yeah, I've been there and I've done that. So when it's like high damage, you can use it. Yeah, you should use it because it's putting out some nice healing during that time. But you lose a lot of mana. Keep that in mind. So the third spell I'm going to talk about is Word of Glory, which is an instant casting spell that costs no mana at all, but when it consumes your generated holy power. So if you use Holy Shock on every cooldown and cast a Flash of Light every now and then, if it's an emergency of course, you're going to have holy power up. And you should use it with 3 holy powers in general, just because of the heals. And if it's an emergency, you can use it with 1 or 2 just to keep the person alive. And with 3 charges, you have a 25% chance to proc Divine Purpose if you have it spec'd. So and that means Divine Purpose gives you the strength of 3 charges Word of Glory without having no charges left. So if it procs, and it can proc like after each other, so you can like spam it for 2 or 3 times if you're lucky. So spend it with 3 charges for the best moderate healing. The next healing spell is Divine Light. It's a real mana inefficient spell really. It costs a lot of mana, as you can see over here, and it has a long casting time. So you won't have, like, you can't spam it because you're gonna get holy locked all the time, or like every cast. And you should use it with the infusion of light, because that gives you the reduced cast time, and I couldn't get the proc over there, but it's reduced a lot, and it really can save lives. So you don't use it with full cast time. Just try not to, because you most certainly will be locked. With bubble it's fine if you pop bubble herb. No, not the macro. Just bubble and use divine light. You can get someone up or yourself, depending on the situation. Healing is really situational, so keep that in mind as well. It's all situational. You can't say do this and do that and do not do that. You can't do it. It's all depending on the situation you're in. The next spell is Holy Light. It's a really mana efficient spell, but it's not recommended if your partner needs heals ASAP. With Infusion of Light, if it's like not that much damage taken, you can use it, but the cast time is pretty long. So, and with Infusion of Light it's like 0.9 seconds, so it puts out like 40k or something. No crits. Let's see this. Yeah, 50k with Infusion of Light. So, and the Beacon of Light is gonna transfer 100% of the amount healed to the wearer of Beacon of Light. So if you heal your partner and you have Beacon of Light on you, you're gonna heal the same amount on yourself, which is a double heal, and it's pretty nice. And yeah, so many people don't use it actually. I use it with Infusion of Light, of course. I'm not going for the whole casting time. That's no, I can't do that. No, in arena, and arena is pretty broken at the moment. At least 2S. That's like sick. It's gonna be changed in 5.4. I've read. So yeah, you can use it if you're looking after your mana or whatever. If it's not that much damage, yeah, use it. Really do it. We also have the Holy Prism, which is the 90 level 90 spec, and it's a heal or damage, or the opposite. Damage and heal is like combined. If you use it on an ally, it's gonna heal the ally for some amount. We're gonna see like this. There you go, almost 70k, and it's gonna damage the people nearby, the 5 people nearby. And the opposite, if you use it on an enemy, it's gonna damage the enemy and go for the prism to the ally and heal them. So it's an AoE damage plus single target heal. It has a pretty long cooldown, 20 seconds, but I recommend you to use it every single cooldown, because look at the mana cost. It's like 3000. That's nothing at all, and it was out like almost 70k. So, and it crits for a lot. You can also use it to burst people with, like, you know, Holy Prism and Holy Shock. That's pretty nice actually. What's up, Keybindings? No, I'm just kidding, but Keybindings are really personal, and you want to customize them for your own use. You can't just rip off someone else that says use that and use that. That's not working. But you can take guidelines from what people are saying about key bindings. I prefer to use the one around your turning keys on the keyboard, like F, R, and stuff, E and Q, and put a shift mod into them. You know, it's really easy, and I'm using the Razihel Naga as well, where I'm using it from 1 to 6 because I can't reach and hit the other buttons with my thumb because my fingers are really short, and I just can't manage it. Not at the moment. But if you are able to use the Razihel Naga mouse with all 12 buttons, it's really effective. I promise you, it's really effective. But it's not for me if I'm using them all. Then I'm using the wheel up and down, and Middlemouse, of course. You can use the shift Middlemouse as well. I haven't put it in on this character. I don't know why. I'm missing a spell, I think. I must miss a spell. And I'm using V, Shift V, G. I don't know why I use G, because that's, don't know, pretty hard for me to reach. Not that hard, but a little. But I'm just used to it back in the days when I started. I just made key bindings as I wanted to and tried them out, and I've tried different stuff. So you can also use ESDF to turn with if you wanted to get additional key bindings around your turning keys. Some use it and some doesn't. I just use the original turning keys. So yeah, just customize it for your own fit. I also use shift space because it's really easy to hit and stuff. And I don't need to toggle the scoreboard in battlegrounds and stuff. So yeah, I think that's like what I have to say. You can use Shift, Ctrl, Alt to mod your key bindings. It depends on what you think is best. I'm more used to Shift and Ctrl a little bit. I don't use Alt that much at all. Maybe on some characters that I'm used to, but not on this one. So yeah, just try to customize it your own way. It's the easiest way to learn, and just try it out. Try all different stuffs, but don't put it like on K and L, because that you can't reach it. It's hard, really hard. It's impossible, even if you're gonna turn. And you could put strive to A and D if you want to, because you want to face your target all the time when you're playing arenas and PvP in general. If you're a DPS, some find it easy to use just A and D for strife, but I'm using right click to strife. So yeah, I think that's all for this key binding section. Actually, there's not much to say, just some guidelines. Next up is macros, and macros are used to combine the cooldowns and spells into one hotkey. It's much easier than keybind every spell and every cooldown and stuff like that, and it really improves your gameplay as well, because you don't have to click all the cooldowns, then the spell, you know, all kinds of stuff. So just type /m or /macro, it's your decision. And here you see the general for all your characters, and here you got specific. I just put them in general, I don't know why. But here's my cleanse macro and a monk running past. So yeah, this is what it looks like. And instead of player, you can put your arena partner, which is easier. I have 2 binds for cleanse, one for myself and one for my partner. I usually run 2s. It's a bit more. You can put in a mod macro to use for just your partners, with a shift up for 1 and shift down for 1, and then separate for yourself. I don't know, it's your decision really, but that's how it looks. And I'm gonna put the macros in the description down below. And I got one for Divine Light, which is a really long cast time, and you really want to reduce that one. And with the infusion of light, it's reduced a lot, and even more with that one, and increase your critical strike rate. Yeah, your critical strike chance on that spell. So you can do some beast healing, just that macro, if it crits, that is. There you see 160, almost 170k. You can go up above 200k with that one, but you can't spam it because look at your mana and the cast time. So yeah, but that's just a really helpful macro for that spell. I use it all the time in my rotation. I don't know when, but you see the cooldown on the Divine Feigner down there. Next up is my Fear macro, which is a mouseover. So if I just hold my mouse on a target and clicks my hotkey, it will automatically fear it. So that's really helpful as well, so you don't have to target stuff, you just have to hold your mouse and click, and it's feared. Then I got my flying macro, which is a macro for my flash of light in emergencies. So I use my spell power trinket, my devotion aura to reduce the interrupts, you can't be interrupted and stuff like that for 6 seconds, and reduce your spell damage taken as well for 6 seconds. I'm using Avenging Brat and then Flash of Light, and it looks like this when you use it. It's just one hotkey, and it's this one, my V, and there you go. And you can just spam it instead of just pushing B and then Q, as you can see on my screen here, which is Flash of Light. So it's really helpful. And I got a focus, which is a basic macro, just slash focus instead of clicking on the target like this and type slash focus. You don't have time for that. So with this macro, I just click on the target I want to focus and use mouse key. It's really easy, and you can just switch along with that one. Just click a new target and focus that one. Then I got focus Fist of Justice, and then you can see the mechanics for that one. You stop casting as well, because if you are in a casting, you really need to stun that target. You don't have time to wait the casting time for that spell. You have to be quick. So stop cast, and then you're gonna stun him. So what this does is really like, if I have this one as a target. No, I'm gonna put that one as a focus target and this one as my target. And if you see, that one is standing and that one's stunned. Because of Fist of Justice, you have an increased range as well. And then you just, yeah, I'm gonna kill him. So it's really, you don't have to click the focus target to really use it. You can still be on your target, and if you're DPS, you can still DPS him, but focus stun the healer. And this one is my Holy Shock macro, which is a mod macro. If I just use it and have someone hitting on me, which is a real trouble, because then you're gonna damage him with no macro instead, or you can't cast as well if he's behind you. So what this does is, if I have a target, it's gonna heal the target. In this case, it's me. If you have an allied target, it's gonna heal him without switching target, you know. But if I put in shift and press it, it's gonna damage an enemy player, which you have to have targeted. So what it does, if I don't have a target, it's gonna heal me. If I have a target, it's gonna heal that one. And if I push shift and click it, you're gonna damage. So it's really helpful, because if you're getting hit, you're instantly getting that as a target, and you can't throw it, and you can't get out a heal. So I really needed that macro, and I was looking so long to find it. But it's out there, and I'm gonna put it in the description, as I told you earlier. This has the same mechanic as the focus stun. So all it does is, I'm gonna aggro a few here, and you can see. There we go. It's just my target, and this is gonna be my focus. So come here and come here. So this, I'm gonna have it hitting the target, and then I just go, wheel up, and you see it's going on that target. So it's really helpful. So try to use it. You're gonna see improvements. I really promise you that. I'm just gonna get rid of this. Yep, that's the macros I'm using. There are a lot of macros out there for Holy Paladins. You can customize your own if you want to. Just try it out. Here's just some basic macros you could use that are really helpful. So I hope it helps, really. That's all I had for part 1. Part 2 will be released very soon, I promise you. I hope you found this helpful in some way, and I do encourage you to look on other guides, because you're gonna just take all information, different information from different guides, and put it together so it fits you. So yeah, that's all. Thanks a lot, guys. Like, favorite, and subscribe, and put a comment if you want to. Thank you.